Santiago and Honey from the Thoughtful Planning Podcast, and Legacy Ledger is what we're going to talk about today. So, before we start getting into that Legacy Ledger, let's talk about our essential question. So, today, do you have a solid grasp on your total asset? I guess this Legacy Ledger that we've been talking about like forever, it's something that we developed because what we found online and what we found in different places really didn't meet our needs. Would you agree with me?
Yep. And actually, I think this is the first time we've talked about Legacy Ledger on the podcast. We've talked about it a lot on our Facebook page too. So if any of you want to follow us on our Facebook page at Legacy Toolkit, that's where you can see a lot of our just kind of lives when we go live.
Yeah, we did a 30-day challenge on Facebook, and we talked about, it was just a couple minutes, talked about a lot of different things. And we actually solicited some beta testers to test the toolkit. And Honey's going to get into a little bit about that. But I think it's a great tool, and we're about to go live with it.
Yes, it's exciting. I'm excited. I've been working on it on the Legacy Ledger for quite a while. And you're right, it'll be a great tool to add to your toolkit. What is a Legacy Ledger? It is something where you can record all your assets. And it's in a Google Sheet. And the Google Sheet is something that you would copy to your own Google Drive. And that way, no one, we can't see it once you copy it. So once you have it saved, then from there, you can watch the tutorial. It comes with a video tutorial to help walk you through it, because there's several sheets in there. There's more than 15 sheets. So it's got a lot of information in there. And the video, like I said, will walk you through what has formulas in it. It talks about the drop downs. And what do I mean by drop downs and formulas? So let me back up on that. Let's take, for example, bank accounts. There is a sheet for your bank accounts, and you click on the drop down, and the drop down has things like personal checking account, savings account, money market account, business checking account, business savings account. Those are some of the things that would be in the drop down to give you an idea. So you just click on that, select your item, and then fill in the rest of the items. And maybe it is by owner one or owner two if there's multiple, if it's like a husband and wife or a spouse team partners. But let's say I'm owner one and he's owner two.
Why do I have to be two?
Because you're two. Sorry, babe. So I'm owner one, he's owner two. And then if what that means is that checking account, maybe it's my checking account, so it's owner one's checking account. But maybe we have a checking account that we share. So that would be joint. So you'd pick joint. And what happens is we have calculations in there that will, when it is joint, it will calculate 50% for each owner. And then at the bottom, when it totals, it's going to total all of owner one's items, all of owner two's items together. So, and it takes into consideration the joint 50%. So the bottom, again, let me say that again. The bottom will do an overall total, but then there's owner one total and owner two total. And then what I love next is it goes to my favorite sheet. So we have the asset total summary sheet. So on the summary sheet, it has a list of all of the sheets, and then it automatically puts those numbers under each owner one or owner two's column. And then it totals it out there.
And that way you can just print out that sheet and take it to your lawyer if you're doing a trust or updating your insurance to make sure that you have enough insurance coverage. God forbid, there's a natural disaster or tragedy that strikes your household, your house burns down or a flood or something like that. You have a total inventory of what you have. You can hang it on the cloud, your Google Drive, and then you can update your assets, hopefully annually. And that way you have that, and you can increase or decrease your insurance coverage as you need to. which in the long term will save you money.
Right. Especially, then, if there is an accident, like you said, if you're underinsured, I mean, that's going to be terrible, right? So if you go through that and put all the numbers in there right, then you know that you're insured properly. And then, of course,
when you do this, when
you do it while you're clear of mind,
while we're clear of mind,
while you're not in a disaster state, right?
Yeah.
And like you said, if you're overinsured, well, then it could save you money. Just reach out to your insurance agent and let them know, hey, I need to update, this or that. On the home asset sheet, you've got to consider like jewelry. Maybe you've got fine art. You've got collectibles, antique furniture.
A little bit of both.
Right. So there's a drop down for that. Technology, anything you might have in there. So that home asset sheet is very helpful for those types of things, to help you think through those things.
Yeah, like if you're becoming empty nesters, like we are here shortly, hopefully, and you start downsizing, that's when you can adjust that asset inventory. And we do have quite a few beta testers, and most of them are in different situations. We selected wisely, I think, when we were looking at different things. So what have they said about our?
Yep. So some of the feedback we've gotten from the beta testers is, here's one. Great job explaining everything in the video. Another one says, good job on the video and worksheet. It's very thorough. Another one says, made me realize I'm not as organized as I thought, especially regarding beneficiaries. And I'm going to take a pause here from the feedback. When on some of the sheets, like for example, on the life insurance policy sheet, there is a column in there that says beneficiaries, like who are the beneficiaries for that particular policy that you might have. And this person in particular went and looked them up and realized the beneficiaries listed were not who they wanted to be the beneficiaries. So they were happy to have taken that step to update that information so that their wishes are fulfilled how they want them to be. So they were very happy about that. Another thing from the same person said, it made me look up who I had listed, and I was glad I checked and updated them. And she also said, plus I didn't know what the life insurance was called for her job, and now she has that information. So in case anything happens, her loved one has that information readily available now. And so that's the feedback from the ledger. Now, in case you're wondering, well, you've been talking about this ledger, so tell me more. Like, how much is it, or when is it out, or where can I get it? If you're interested, we are actually running an introductory offer right now. So you can, after you're listening to this podcast, we'll have a link in the show notes to our sales page. And the current introductory offer is $37. So you'll pay $37, and then you would, when it actually will come out though on March 24th of 2024. So you can wait until March 24th to pay, or you can pay now. So you'll get an automatic email on March 24th with your login to the education portal that we use. And in the portal will come with the ledger for you to download, an instructional video to help walk you through it. And in addition, for the introductory offer, we will have 2 live Q&As. The first one will be on April 7th of 2024. And the second one will be on April 21st of 2024 from 3 to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. And that's only for the introductory offer that these live Q&As will be available. In addition, we will also open a free Facebook group from March 24th through June 30th of 2024. And this is only available with the introductory offer. So you can get the offer starting, we can get it starting now. Again, the ledger won't be out. When I say now, this podcast will
drop on the 11th?
On March 11th. So you can start. You can purchase it now, and then on March 24th of 2024 it will be available, and then that special price of $37 is good until April 5th of 2024. After that, the price does go up. And then, like I said, these additional offers with the two live Zoom Q&As and the free Facebook group, those will only be available with the introductory offer at this time anyway. So if you are interested, again, you can look on the sales page, and there will be a link in the show notes for you to look that up. And Babe, do you have anything else you want to say about the ledger?
Well, this is something that I'd attempted multiple times, because we'd moved, 11 times, something like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of times. And we actually had a detailed, listing of all of our property. And I could never take the time to do this. And now with the Legacy Ledger, we know. And it's good to have, especially with the trust, to fill that out, make sure that everything's funded correctly. And this will be helpful for you guys to do the same if you decide that you're going to establish your trust. You have that front sheet already filled out, and you can check on your trust, annually, make sure that it's funded correctly.
No, you don't need to have a trust to have the Legacy
No,
Ledger.
you don't.
This you can have just to have it, so you know what you have, right? You don't need to go and get a trust if that's not what you want to do. You can just have this and have it for your loved ones to know what assets you have. And if there's ever an emergency, then it'll be available for them to reference. You, of course, would need to share that information with them so they know where to find it.
I think it's important to have, like the person said, about the insurance policies. Mm-hmm. That's, I'm sure that's going to be a bear if you have multiple insurance policies, to figure out who to call and all that other good stuff.
Yeah, but once there's this initial part of taking the time to look these things up. Who is your policy with, and documenting who should they reach out to, who the beneficiary is, and especially on your bank accounts too. If you don't know if there's a beneficiary in your bank account, then you should go check that out. And that's what this ledger helps. It has these columns in there to help trigger that. Oh, I need to do that. I need to do that. And the reason why we're having these live Zooms is so you can ask us questions, but also maybe you don't have questions, but maybe you want to use it for focus time. There's 2 hours right there on a Sunday afternoon where you can focus on your family and making sure they're taken care of.
Yeah.
And you can just use it as you can come, put the Zoom on, put your camera off, put the audio off, and just use the time to work. Or you don't even have to come to the Zoom. Just set yourself some time to focus on that so that you get it done.
Some me time.
Right.
To make sure that your loved ones are taken care of. And
you are too.
Yeah, and that's why we're on this journey, to make sure that we're taken care of, that she's taken care of, I'm taken care of, our kids are taken care of. Mm-hmm. And do it now, because again, you're clear of mind right now. And you never know when something could happen to you.
Right. So you could, of course, start your own Excel spreadsheet and or a Word doc, and jot all these things down. And you could spend the time to try to do that. Or, you can invest in something like the Legacy Ledger, where a lot of the thought has already been put into it. It has the calculations, it has the drop downs. Now, I'm sure, on the drop downs, we probably don't have everything, but there is a drop down listing for other, in case I missed something. And guess what? You know what? I can change the ledger anytime. So if you have feedback for me, maybe you said, honey, I need another sheet for this, or a Google sheet for that, or let me know, because I'm happy to add that in and update the sheet. Because all of us, me and Santiago, we're starting, with us. And now we're reaching out to other people to help us. So we can all basically, it's like a team, right? We're all helping each other, because we're all on this journey of trying to make sure that our loved ones are taken care of and that we're taken care of. So
yeah, I think that like with one of the folks that we have, he's doing it with his parents because his parents don't want to talk about it, don't want to do stuff, and he's helping guiding to guide his parents through. And the discussion I had with him was, he's like, I don't have a lot of stuff. I really don't need to do it right now. I was like, dude, do it while you don't have a lot of stuff, and then add to it. Figure it out right now. And it was like we're sitting there, and the light bulb went on. Because I met him face to face, and he's like, "You're right. I need to do this."
Right.
So
yeah, I've heard people say that too. Well, I'm too young. I'm young, and I have young children, and I don't know. I know we've talked about this before in prior podcasts of when is a good time to start having these conversations and start documenting some things. And in my opinion, it's as soon as you turn 18, when you're an adult. As soon as you become an adult, I think that's when you start. You go get your will. You get at minimum, the will, power of attorneys, and your advanced care directives. Get those done. And whatever assets you might have at that time, maybe you have an automobile,
clothing,
computer,
computers,
all that's worth something. And of course, wherever you're going to, when you're 18, you're going to probably rent somewhere to begin with, and you need renter's insurance, right? So you need to know how much your assets are for the renter's insurance.
You don't know what you don't know right now, and you don't know what's coming up. So
exactly.
So,
got anything else, babe?
Oh no. So circling back, let's talk about that essential question again. Do you feel right now that you have a solid grasp on your total assets? You might have a ballpark figure, and you're like, I think it's this much. But until you take the time to actually put it down, you just don't know how much you have.
Right. You might be surprised.
Yep.
All right, babe. Well, until next time, every chapter you write today shapes your legacy tomorrow.